Hello trucker family, this is Kevin with the trucker side. As you well know, our team is always on the trucker side. We're here to make your career and your business better and more successful. Thanks for watching our channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, do that, share it with others, bring other members to our community because we love to help everybody out in trucking. Today's video is going to be about how to choose the type of trailer you want to haul, and I'm going to be talking about dry vans, reefers, and open decks, step decks, or flatbeds. I don't want to go deeper into more niche stuff because that's the highly specialized stuff is different from one project to another. So I don't think that there's that many general things when it comes to specialized stuff, like whether it's an RGN, a tanker, or all sorts of other specialized trailers that do specific works. Like I said, they don't have as many general aspects, so I'm just going to be talking about these three, and I'm gonna refer to the ups and downs that you have when it comes to purchasing it, using it, and the type of work that you're going to be doing on a daily basis when you use these trailers. So make sure you follow all the way to the end to understand the ins and outs. I'm going to start off with dry van. I think dry van is a very good place to start, especially if you start on with a new company. It's generally more flexible and more easygoing as a work schedule. There's less room for error. Like, for example, there's not that many appointments. The schedule is not that strict. So while you don't know your dispatcher yet and you don't trust him 100%, I would start off with a dry van. Cost-wise, it's efficient. It's cheaper than a reefer. It's cheaper than a flatbed. It doesn't require a whole lot of extra equipment. You just need a handful of E-straps, maybe a load bar every here and there. I don't like using load bars in dry vans, but some shippers will ask for it. So I do recommend everybody, if you put a load bar in the dry van, make sure you also put a strap next to it to kind of hold it together, because you know the walls are pretty flimsy and you don't want to break those. Work-wise, as a work schedule, I recommend dry van to everybody just because it's the most easygoing way to work. You're going to sleep most of your nights. You're not going to drive all your weekends. Shippers and receivers are generally only open during the day. There's some that are open during the night or the weekend, but they're not that many, so you won't be finding yourself very often loading or unloading at 3 a.m., at 11 p.m., or on Sunday at noon. So from that perspective, if you want a good balance of sleep, work, definitely go with dry van. Definitely choose dry van. When it comes to reefers, now that's a bit of a different animal because there's always appointments. There's always a certain time you need to get somewhere, and just like everybody says in trucking, hurry up and wait. So if you haul a reefer, that's going to be one of the major problems. You get to a pickup or a delivery, you don't know how long you're going to be there. Only thing you do know is most likely you're going to be there a long time. Communication is going to be bad. Nobody really takes the time to tell you, hey, this is how long it's going to be. If you want to get some rest, go for it. If you want to get some food, go for it. They just tell you to wait. 4 hours later, wait. 8 hours later, wait. Nobody wants to really give you a whole lot of information. So from that perspective, it's gonna be quite challenging. There's gonna be pickups and deliveries during the night, during the weekend. And another unfortunate aspect that I see about this, you'll book a load, you'll get to the pickup on time, they'll keep you waiting there so long to get you loaded to where you're gonna be late for the delivery, and nobody cares. So look at that however you want. I do feel the need to put this out here because it's something that I've personally done throughout the years, and I see other people doing and fighting it because it's just stressful and nobody wants to deal with it. But it's kind of part of the industry and people should know it, because there is the myth that hauling a reefer pays better, and it does pay better by the mile. But I do want all owner operators to understand that it's also a bit of a scam. I don't know if scam is the right word, but we'll call it a scam for conversation's sake. A lot of companies will say haul a reefer because it pays better, and that's because they make percentage out of your gross. It will pay better per mile, so their percentage will be higher, but then when you calculate the cost of the reefer itself, whether you buy it or you rent it, the cost is going to be higher than the dry van. Then you're going to have to maintain it. If it's maintained by whoever you rent it from, then your rental rate is going to be higher, and you got fuel to put in there most days. So when you calculate all of that, it might look like you're making more money, but if you want my honest opinion, you're just not sleeping your nights. You're just waiting your days and your nights and your weekends at shippers and receivers with bad communication, and it doesn't really pay off better. Yes, there are times of the year, there are seasons, there are areas of the country where there's a tendency for reefer loads to be more common than dry van loads, so do account for that as well. I'm only talking here about the way you would work, the way your days would flow, the way your nights would flow, and so on and so forth. And I gotta say, out of these options, dry van reefer and flatbed, reefer is the most challenging by far. And I want to talk a little bit about flatbeds or step decks, open decks. Do make sure if you do this that you are physically fit for it. It's gonna be challenging, chaining stuff down, strapping stuff down, tarping, and organizing the equipment and moving it back and forth and putting it on and off the freight. It's not gonna be easy. I like it personally, and I think it's good. It's good for your health. It'll keep you moving a little bit. It'll keep you thinking a little bit, because a lot of the times there's no guidelines, so you have to sometimes use your imagination when it comes to securing down your load in order to make sure that it's safe. So I do like it from that perspective. However, you gotta make sure that you know what you're doing. You gotta make sure that that load is secured properly, because otherwise it can be a hazard to you or others around you, and you don't want to play with that. I think we've all seen loads shifting or falling off the trailer. You do not want to be that guy. Trust me. I always say, if you haul an open deck, you have to have your load secured in such a way where if the truck flips over, the freight stays on. I don't care how many times the truck rolls over, the freight needs to stay on. That's when you've secured it properly. That's where you want to be. Schedule wise, it's hit and miss from my experience. I know there's a lot of drivers that say that, well, if you haul a flatbed, you just go in and out. Not really. I've had times when I got to a construction site, there was no forklift or machinery to unload the stuff, so now you're stuck in the middle of a construction site, dust everywhere, there's no machinery to get you unloaded. Sometimes they have to bring it from another state. Sometimes you might need to use a crane. Those cranes get paid by the hour, so it's a matter of planning, just like anywhere else. I'm not saying it's bad. I think it's good, again, for the physical aspect of it, and it does tend to pay better than dry van because it's specialized. But when you think about the money aspect, just consider the fact that you are gonna have to buy equipment. So straps will wear down and sometimes break. Chains will get rusty and break, tarps will break, and another very important aspect to consider, tarping is not easy. And I have seen a lot of drivers saying, yeah, I haul a flatbed, but I don't want a tarp. I don't think you should say you haul a flatbed if you don't want a tarp. That's just like saying, yeah, I'm a truck driver, I haul a dry van or a reefer, but I don't want a back in the door. What are you talking about? Of course you got a back in the door. And of course you got a tarp if you haul a flatbed. It's an open deck. You don't want to limit yourself. If you limit yourself, you're not going to make the best out of the time you spend on the road, and you're going to sustain all the losses because of it. So yes, you do want a tarp. Yes, it is hard. Those tarps are heavy. You can ask sometimes forklift drivers to help you put them on, put them off, but that's up to how you organize your time. Just keep in mind, it's no easy work. It's gonna have a toll on your body, and if that's what you want to go with, go for it. I don't think one of them is better than the other. I just think that it's a matter of deciding what works best for you, both from the operational aspect of a day-to-day life and also from the aspect of where you live. Because, like I said, there are some areas where certain types of freight are predominant. You don't want to try and fight those odds because it's going to be hard. You're always going to have empty miles to drive every time you leave the house, every time you come back. That's going to have a heavy toll on your business. So make sure you account for all these aspects. Let us know if you have any questions. We're always here for you. We're always on the trucker side. Thanks for watching this video and have a good day.